يما لا
شوف
ردي علينا. طيب عطيه اغلي.
ضبط ضعوف.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. As we bring you the special broadcast on the eve of quite a defining moment, I must say, with the Israeli attack and the Israeli war in the Middle East in general, in Gaza, and also we know what has taken place in Lebanon as well. And today, has it come at a surprise to many of us, where we've seen Iran launching almost 200 missile strikes against several targets right across Israel. Now, what you saw in those images is those missiles landing in Israel territory, the Iron Dome failing, and just looking at the images that have been coming through, we've seen a lot of celebration that is taking place in Iran, and also looking at what is taking place in other parts of Palestine as well, Al-Quds in general, and we've heard about missiles in the West Bank region as well. And this special broadcast is brought to you courtesy of Salam Media, and we are now going across to Al-Quds to be joined by Sister Abeer Zayyad.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Sister Abeer. Well, wonderful you're able to join us. I know it's pretty late out there, but clearly this is a very, very defining moment since October the 7th last year, when Israel had decided to attack Gaza. And it's almost a year today, being the 1st of October, and we've seen this attack come through from Iran, and we know what had taken place in the last few days, the killing of Hassan Nasrallah, before that on Iranian territory, the leader of Hamas, Ismail Haniyeh, as well. Are we surprised that Iran has now retaliated against Israel by sending these 200 missiles in Israeli territory?
Yeah, we were, in fact, we was surprised, but even that, Iran had already sent messages to America that they does not want to make it a global war or a big war, and this was their response about what Israel had done. And now it's depend on if Israel will bomb Iran or not. All the Israeli news till now, all of it agree that there will be attacking for Iran tonight, and they also they say that they will attack many countries in the Middle East tonight. So we are expecting that they will attack Lebanon, Iraq, and Yemen also with Iran. So if they answer or if Israel respond on that, it could lead to a big war. But today or tonight, we've seen the rockets that had been sent by Iran, and some of these rockets, not the rocket itself, but as you said, the Iron Dome that try to stop these bombs, these rockets, is affect the Palestinian directly.
Yes, in fact, we've heard about one Palestinian killed, and also we know about the shooting that had taken place in Tel Aviv, where I think 8 Israelis were killed as well. And just looking at the images and looking at the response from the Palestinian perspective, because I know Jerusalem as well, and just to give us the mood in Jerusalem right now in response, we've seen quite a bit of celebration in Gaza taking place, as a result of Iran sending these 200 missiles into Israel. What's it like in Al-Quds?
The thing that the people already was having a feeling that they will be killed exactly like what happened in Gaza and what is happening in the West Bank and in Jerusalem is just telling us that we are in the line to be killed. So people feeling it's mixed. They are afraid, and in the same time they would like someone to stop Israel. But also Israel, when they are stopping these rockets, they are trying to stop it with the Iron Dome, and the Iron Dome or Israel dealing with the Palestinian cities and area like if it is an empty area without land without people. So they try to stop the rockets on top of our cities and in our areas and also in Jordan. And this is effect falling for these pieces from the rockets on Jordan, in Palestine, like Ramallah, Jericho, Hebron. And in Jericho, these fragments or apart from these rockets that had fall down, it's in fact it fall down on the head of one worker from Gaza. That man, he was in the West Bank when 7th of October happened, and he hid with some of the worker in Jericho in a specific place for these people who was not able to go back to Gaza, and he was killed today with these rockets. So it's a mixed feeling. It's something that we are, our houses is shaking. We are, our children are afraid, and in the same time, we would like something, anything to happen to stop Israel from going and continue their genocide against us. So you can sometimes blame the people to be happy when they see the rockets, because all what they are dreaming about is just stopping this genocide in any way.
Well, clearly, Sister Abeer, this has caused great concern, I know, right across the region. But just looking at Israel, and, we've heard their military saying civilians are leaving their bomb shelters after the attack had taken place. The Iranian Revolutionary Guard saying 90% of the missiles that they've sent into Israel have actually hit their targets. We heard earlier on coming out of the White House saying that, America had supported Israel in intercepting these missiles, and many missiles, these missiles haven't. So we're getting a lot of mixed messaging at this point in time, Sister Abeer. So, things are still a bit unclear.
In fact, as we see that a lot of rockets had been stopped in Jordan, in Palestine, and we can see the fragments and the pieces are falling. But we does not know how many rockets had been arrived. But when we seen in Asqalan, which they call it Ashkelon, and we seen in Tel Aviv some videos and also in Beersheba that the rocket had hit places. Of course, Israel had order anyone not order all the Israeli not to publish any videos about where the rockets hit, and some of the Israel media was saying that all the places that it was hit, it was a military places, not a civilian places. So all the news are, as you said, is very mixed. We can't make sure from all the news, but we can see from eyewitness that it had hit some buildings in Tel Aviv, in Ashkelon, and in Beersheba, and some of the pieces had been falling down in Palestine, especially in Ramallah, Jericho, and Hebron.
Yes. Now, just looking at where you are in East Jerusalem, what is the mood like there? I'm sure. What are the people saying? How has the response been?
As I told you, if you speak with each family, some family, especially the one that have very young children, the children was very, very afraid from the voices, from the shaking of the houses. And in the other side, that a lot of youth was going out to street, like for example, one
شوف
of
ردي
the
علينا.
camps in Jerusalem, the soldier ran away from the checkpoint. So the youth stand in the place of the Israeli police watching what is happening. And for them, these places are forbidden for them to stand in it. So people have a lot of mixed feeling, as I told you. Of course, people will be afraid on their life, and already one of the Palestinians had lost his life with these rockets. But also, in the same time, they are hoping anything to happen just to stop the genocide. People was in a very bad emotions, and you can feel the depression in the faces of the people everywhere. So for them, this is like a hope that someone or anyone could stop Israel from continuing, but we does not know. So it's a very very mixed feeling. We can't express it. We can't speak about it. We can't understand it, because you know that you could be killed, but in the same time you want to stop the genocide. Some of us will say that anyway we are killed, so what to worry about it. We will be killed with the Iranian rockets or with the Israeli rockets. We will be killed at the end. And for Al Aqsa Mosque today, before even the rockets had been arrived, they already closed the mosque, and they allowed only for 3 gates to be open, which is a Lion Gate, Hotta Gate, Nazir Gate, and Shin Gate. The only 3 gates that was allowed. And they say that they will restrict the number of the people who are able to enter to the mosque for praying. So we does not know what will happen in Friday if they continue this order, and what the effect will be in Jerusalem. But you can see that Jerusalem, even since 7th of October, it did not came back as it was, and most of the time is empty. Most of the time the mosque is restricted. They do not allow for people to enter in a freely way, more harder than it was before. And they try to punish the Muslims for what is happening, and what happened in 7th of October. They try to punish everyone in Jerusalem for that. So Al-Aqsa Mosque also, it will be another battle. We does not know what will happen in the coming day. And also we are also afraid that something will happen to the mosque with all this things that is happening, and these pieces that are on our areas. And also we are afraid from the rockets on the mosque.
Yes. Now, also, I think let's just come back to Iran and let's just look at what sort of implications or consequences this will have for the wider region, because Iran has made it very, very clear that these attacks are in response to the assassinations that have taken place. And also, it comes at a time where we've seen southern Lebanon, and we've seen a lot of destruction in southern part of Lebanon as well. Hezbollah in particular, the assassination of Hassan Nasrallah, and Israel at that point in time, obviously preparing a major ground attack in Lebanon. So it has come at a time where all these developments have been taking place and playing in the background, and it's going to be interesting to see whether Israel will still proceed with what they said they're going for, this major ground invasion to try and eliminate Hezbollah, like they've done in Gaza.
In fact, it's not about Hezbollah or Hamas or any other organization. The fact that Israel is dreaming about doing what they call it the big Israel, and even now they are posting the map for this big Israel, and to achieve the goal for them for this area that they say that this is their promised land. They need to take Lebanon for sure, whole Lebanon, and they want 2/3 from Syria, 1/3 from Iraq, whole Kuwait, half of Saudi Arabia, even the Medina Munawwara. It's they consider it as part from their land. And also they want a third from Egypt. All the Dead Sea area. So if you think about what the goal for them, you can understand that all what they are doing is not about a peaceful, or about keeping their people, as they say, or about this group or that group. It's about the colonialism goal that they have it to achieve Israel, the big Israel, the promised land, as they say, and to control the whole Middle East. And to achieve that, they need to do it step by step. And now it's their goal and their opportunity to be able to do that. And as you see, is America and a lot of country, they are supporting Israel Israel, whatever they done, they are not caring about genocide happen in Palestine or Lebanon or whatever it's happened. 1 million people in Lebanon had lost their places. They are a refugee now in other area. They are bombing in Lebanon, killing the people. They does not care. People sometime outside does not understand that all of us, for the Israeli, we are just tools, slaves, whatever you want to call it. You can call it. It's in their word. They call it goyim, and for them, killing us, taking our land is not a big problem. Is not an issue. They have the right to do that. They are the promised people. They are the chosen people. They are the. This is the promised land that they deserve it in their mentality, and they does not care about how to do it. Sometime when I think about it, I found it exactly like what the white people had done in America when they occupied America, and how they start killing the native people in America. And they was giving a lot of justification for killing the native people there. And now, when you look at America, you can't see any native people. Just these white people are controlling it, and they calling themselves now American. It's exactly what Israel is doing here. America had killed all the native people and take it, and now no one is speaking about them. This is what Israel is doing for us. They are killing the native people, and they want to take this land and to claim that this is their land, and they discover it like Columbus discovered America.
Yes, and also, Sister, we just finally, the next few hours are going to be absolutely critical, just to see what sort of response will come out of Israel, whether they are going to retaliate, whether they're going to hit Iran as well. We know, like you mentioned, the Americans obviously in full support. Their bases are there. A lot of their aircraft carriers are stationed in the oceans surrounding Israel and the Middle East region as well. And we've seen also statements come out from the White House that they are in full support of Israel. Again, we've seen the victim mentality that is playing out, Israel being a victim, Israel now coming under attack by Iran as well. So the next few hours are going to be absolutely critical to see what sort of response come out of Israel and how this actually escalates in the wider region.
In fact, yes, and we are waiting. As I told you, all the Israel news is saying that the response will be tonight. At what time tonight, we does not know. Some of us is still waking up, try to see what is going on, what will happen, if there is will be attacked or not. And all our schools and also the Israel school had to stop education tomorrow. A lot of things, a lot of checkpoints had been closed between the cities in Palestine, like Jericho, Hebron, Ramallah. Each city now is surrounded completely and not have any connection with other cities in the West Bank. So they put us now in cages, you can call it like that. And they say that the answer it will be tonight, but it's clearly also that they are afraid from another attack like what is happening in Jaffa, Tel Aviv tonight, that it will be happen in other area. And this feeling of afraid from inside and outside is making the things more difficult on us and on them.
Well, Sister Abeer, Jazakallah khairan for that and for taking time out. I know it's quite late in your part of the world as well. We continue making dua. We make dua for your safety, for our brothers and sisters in Palestine as well. And we know this is a difficult time, but inshallah, at some point in time, we will connect with you once again. But for now, we thank you for taking time out. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Walaikum salam. Walaikum salam.
Abeer Zayyad joining us out of Al-Quds, just providing us with an update, and also in terms of the response in Jerusalem, in Al-Quds at this point in time, and we've seen it right across Palestine and also in Israel, and again, reinforcing that Iran sending 200 missiles out deep into Israel territory. the Revolutionary Guard saying 90% of the missiles successfully hit the targets in Israel. Israel saying something else again, and we know that we're not going to get a lot of information in terms of the extent of any damage that is caused as a result of these missiles landing in Israel. But we know for clear that the Iron Dome obviously has failed. Americans are saying that they've assisted Iran in Israel in intercepting some of these missiles as well. The White House has issued a statement again confirming that they are 100% behind Israel, and it is Israel that is now under attack by Iran. But Iran saying these missile strikes were necessary. They were in retaliation for Israel and the assassination of both the Hezbollah and the Hamas leader. We will continue following up with the story, and I'm sure over the next few days a lot will happen. But what is critical is what is going to happen tonight. Will Israel attack Iran? Are we going to see a barrage of missiles coming out, or are they going to attack them in any way whatsoever? So it's just a wait and see at this point in time. But we thought we'd just bring you this broadcast, a special broadcast, courtesy of Salam Media on this eve of the missile attack on Israel, something that we haven't seen in a very, very long time. The key issue here and the question is, how is this likely to escalate from here onwards? And with that, I'm signing off from myself and the team at Salam Media. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.